Next, we're going to move on to exercise 3. Now, exercise 3 requires going in a straight line, which can be a little difficult in a baby. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this, but on a seasoned horse, you want to make sure your horse is straight and going on a straight track. And I'm going to demonstrate this the best I can on Ha. Now, what we're going to do is we go on a straight track, and we're going to bend it to the inside a little bit. We're going to bend to the inside for 3 strides and go straight. Then we're going to go bend to the outside for 3 strides and then go straight. And then we're going to bend to the inside. Now I'm going to walk down here so I can get a nice straight track. And sometimes this can be a little difficult on a baby because their body parts aren't really communicating quite yet. And their shoulders are still learning and still getting their body parts together. So we're going to get a nice straight track. And I'm going to ask them to bend in a little bit. And I'm going to ask them to go straight. I'm going to ask them to bend out a little bit. I'm going to ask them to go straight. I'm going to ask them to bend in a little bit. And then I'm going to ask them to go straight and go back on the track. Now we got a pretty good inside bend, but we didn't get the best outside bend. But that's okay, because we don't want to get greedy. Whatever we can get, we want to reward them because they tried and they gave you the best answer they could possibly give you. At least for their age and for their training level. Now we're going to try this one more time. Now this time we're going to pretend that we've been going to the right. So we're going to bend to the right first, then the left, then the right. You're going to get a nice straight track. You're going to bend to the right. Ask a little more. Good boy. Then we're going to bend to the inside. We're going to go straight. We're going to bend to the outside. Ask. Come on. Good boy. It's a little better. You want to try to make your bending, like how much the horse bends, pretty equal. But if you can't, that's okay. Now we're going to demonstrate exercise 3 one more time, just to be clear. And the same thing, we don't want to get greedy. We just want to get as much as we can. So we're going to find a nice straight track. I'm going to get the shoulders nice and straight before I begin. Then we're going to bend to the inside a little bit. We're going to go straight. We're going to bend to the outside. Going to exaggerate this just a little, ask for a little more. Good boy. Then I'm going to bend to the inside just a little more and go straight. Now it's a similar thing. He's better bending to the inside than he is to the outside. That's okay. That's work. Sometimes horses favor sides, and sometimes horses are going to be like that. But that's okay. He did his best, and he gave me what I was asking for. As you know, one of the principles of Taji horsemanship is energy. You need to know how to create it, diffuse it, direct it, and use it. Now for a baby or an inexperienced horse, the best way for them to learn is to be relaxed and focused. For that reasoning, you don't want to have a lot of energy. You almost want to have minus energy so they can be relaxed and super comfortable and super down to earth. Now let's talk about how you create energy. I like to think about it as a spring. A horse, when it's sitting in a stall or grazing or out in the field, is typically like a relaxed spring. Now, once we start working and start picking at them and start getting them nervous, sometimes the spring tends to tighten up. Now, sometimes it's a good thing if you're doing the Grand Prix or a big jumper class and you need that spring and need that energy. But with the baby, we want the spring here to to be relaxed and comfortable like it would be in a stall or grazing or out in the field. So when that spring gets here and the horse gets uptight and nervous, and the big problem is when that spring releases. Because it's almost like if you take a spring and you press it down and press it down and press it down, soon the spring can't be pressed anymore. And soon you're going to have to release. And when you release, the spring's going to go gaboing, gaboing, gaboing. We don't want a young horse to go gaboing, 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 especially with a rider on its back. So what we're going to try to do is keep that spring nice and relaxed so we don't get any gaboing, gaboing, gaboing moments. Now, keeping that all in mind, let's talk about how you diffuse energy on a horse and you create energy on a horse. I like to think another way is a horse has two doors, a door of the front end and a door of the back end. If both doors are closed, they have nowhere to go. If one door is open, say the forward door is open, they can go forward. If the forward door is closed, they can go backwards. But if both those doors are closed, they can't go anywhere, so they're going to go up. So talking about that, how do we close the front door and how do we close the back door? Well, I think about it as the front door, the head, the forehand, the reins, the mouth, the back door, the hind end, the legs, the seat, the shoulders. So by closing the back door, we're probably going to get a little behind them, get them going forward, and we're probably going to close our leg, get them moving off a little, going forward. And to get them to close the front door, we're probably going to sit up a little, get a little feel of their mouth, ask them to slow down and rock back just a little bit more in order to decrease. But the biggest thing that we don't want to do is do both those two things at once. Because if we have a strong feel and we're harsh up front and we're really asking them to go forward at the same time, they can't go forward, they can't go backwards, so they're going to go up. Now, on a more seasoned horse, we can create some of that energy, but we can direct it, and we're going to direct it to something productive, as a spin or a jump or a lead change. But we don't want to direct it to something bad, like a horse misbehaving or bucking or rearing or doing something to our disadvantage. So with a young or an unexperienced horse, we want to keep that energy level low because they don't have the skills to contain energy, along with directing the energy to something productive. So on a young horse or an inexperienced horse, we want to never, try to never keep both doors closed at the same time.